Now, the other day I ran into a neighbor and he was telling me bad news that he had been diagnosed with cancer and it didn't look good. And it was cancer of the esophagus. And this isn't an old guy. And you could already see the pain written on his face. Now, as I walked away, the first thing I thought of was the financial difficulty that's going to be coming. Now, medical debt is the number one reason people file for personal bankruptcy. And I tell you, you go in that hospital a few times and you can come out penniless. They're going to take everything from you, your money, your will to survive, and your soul. Now, this is a working man. And whenever you get a diagnosis like cancer, you're going to be running back and forth to the hospital, doing blood tests, procedures, and that's going to mean less work. And that's going to mean less income. And at some point, the bills, they're going to overwhelm you. And you're going to be facing perilous times. Now, he's the main breadwinner in his household. So his wife, if something happens to him, his wife, well, she's going to be in a bad position. Because a lot of times, these illnesses, these terminal illnesses, they can drain all your savings, your lifetime of savings. And when you pass on, your loved one, there's nothing to give. That's all gone to the hospital. So at the end of the day, there's nothing left. And your loved one may basically have to start over. And that's a hard pill to swallow if you're up in age. And we're seeing a cancer epidemic across this country. I mean, I've got a few stories to tell just in my family, and I'm certain everyone else does in theirs. But we're facing a cancer epidemic. Now, we just had one of the royals over in England diagnosed with cancer. And when I first saw that news, I thought to myself, well, if the royals are getting cancer, they have the money to eat the best foods, to have the best care than most people on this planet. And if they're getting cancer, what does that mean for the rest of us who are getting crap food, who don't have the money to eat fruits and vegetables, to eat the right kind of foods that's going to keep you healthy? So if the royals are getting cancer, then there's a likelihood that everyone else is getting cancer. And it's exploding, folks. This isn't something that you're going to hear on the nightly news, but this is happening at an epidemic pace. And again, this has big financial woes for the country. If you have a population that's sick and can't work, well, you're not going to be the leader of production and innovation on this planet. That's going to go to the country who has the most physical able bodies. And right now, as I look around here in the U.S., it's not us. And I'm not sure it's going to get any better. Mentally, physically, we're going downhill quick. Now, while we're being fed news from the Israel and Iran debacle halfway across the globe, Americans are facing their own war right here in their backyard, an economic war. And by that, I mean U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel shareholders have approved the sale of U.S. Steel to Japan, to Nippon Steel. So effectively now, U.S. Steel is Japan Steel. And this is a bad deal for tens of thousands of Americans. And I already know how this story ends. Now, I may not know the time frame, but I'm going to say 10 years from now, there are going to be less U.S. steel workers than there are now. You're going to see less steel mills operating in the U.S. Now, everyone's going to make out except for the U.S. worker. Japan is celebrating. There are many congressmen and senators celebrating as they've gotten backdoor money, and many of the largest shareholders, they're celebrating. And all of it is at the expense of the average Joe that works in these steel mills. So once again, we're being sold out, and this has been happening for decades, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. And that's where we're at. They're going to hollow out this country. There's going to be nothing but a skeleton left. Now, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.